All right. Bounty Hunter BJ, how's it going?
What's up with it? What's up with it, Cat? Hey, man, listen, man. I guess I'm going to have to make this juicy for us out there, TV land. What's up, man? You already know, man. It's your favorite host, man, ROE, man, in the building. Bounty Hunter BJ, CEO Nino Cappuccino, the brand, man. I'm right here, right now, man, in conjunction, man, with the Capone show, man. Y'all know what to do, man. West Coast style, man. Tune in right now, man. We got something hot and juicy for y'all, man. Cam, what's up, man? It's been a minute, man.
Man,
Round 2 for us, huh?
round two.
Round
Glad to
2,
have you
man.
back.
Yeah.
You've been grinding, man. I've been seeing you, man. You doing numbers.
Yes.
Things are looking good for you.
Yeah, man, that's important, man. You know that them numbers is important for me, man, because I'm earning my numbers. I'm not gaining my numbers from the buffoonery or the bullshit or acting like a clown on here as the OG that I am. I'm gaining my numbers because the people are cleaning to me. They loving my content. They loving my work. They call them stories. I'll call them livelihoods. I speak on the things I've experienced, what I went through in my life, things I grew up in as far as my life altogether, you know, just good and bad, ugly. I don't sugarcoat it. My shit is uncut and raw. I talk about my wins, my greatness, as well as my losses in the game. You feel me? So I think the people love that, man. And it separates me from a lot of others and a lot of the mechanical OGs that's supposed to be OGs on the internet, you know? That's the separation in it for me.
Yeah, I hear that. That's real, for sure. Well, I thought we would start with a video that I recently seen, man. It's a dude is telling a story about how he was on the same bus ride to prison with Nipsey.
Mm-hmm.
And he's on his bus ride and he thinks he sees Eric Holder. They tap on, because, you know, he's in the PC cage on the bus. You know, for people who don't know, you know what I'm saying? Dudes are in PC.
Wait. Who? See, that's wrong right there. Who calls them PC cages? Them ain't PC cages. Those are cages. Those are separation cages. You may have a high power individual that's going to court. They not gonna put him back there with them all the inmates that's down there because he coming off a high power. That don't mean he PC. He could be on 1750. A real killer that'll kill some of them young motherfuckers back there. So they gotta understand to stop using these words and throwing these words out in this new damn generation. They don't know what the they be talking about. When you get on the Grey Goose, it's automatic cages on the bus because they put women on the goddamn buses too when you go to court. How about that shit? See, they ain't explaining this shit, Capone. You gotta break this shit down if you're gonna put it out there, man. That's why these kids is so confused, man. Let's go, man.
Let's go. Okay. He's in the cage. Well, it's been reported he's been in PC.
Yeah, now there we go.
Know,
PC, he's in PC, but that cage ain't PC. You feel me?
Okay, I got you.
Cause I done been in them motherfuckers. You know what I'm talking about? So that's what I'm saying. It ain't a PC cage.
Gotcha. And so they see him, they figure out who it is, and the bus starts going crazy. You know, they start throwing piss on him, they start spitting on him. I mean, I'm assuming it's probably the whole ride there, and they eventually stop at, I think, a different prison to where they let somebody off the bus, him off, or, you know, they do some reorganizing.
Ain't nobody getting off that bus. That's what they not gonna do. Ain't no inmate getting off that bus.
Well, they stopped, I believe, at another prison.
Okay. Now that they may have happened, but ain't nobody just they ain't even gonna just stop in the middle of nowhere and they gonna get off that bus. That's not protocol, you know? But nevertheless, your question on hand is, you asking me my opinion as far as what happened or what took place on the bus?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so first and foremost, what the youngsters did on the bus and how they all came together was unification based on the hip-hop era that we're in right now. These were a lot of kids who come from different directions in life right now who love Nipsey Hussle's music, who love Nipsey Hussle's movement. So these were a lot of youngsters who probably were from different gangs, different cliques, Mexicans and blacks. Probably a couple of whites in there too thrown up in there who came together and say, man, this fool. Yeah. So that pumped it up for everybody to get involved as opposed to it just being a Crip thing. Because see, we're not talking about, oh, the Crips attacked him or specifically the 60s attacked him. Like his own era attacked him. So that's different. And That was supposed to happen. If you rock for somebody and you down with that person and you rocked with their movement, then you can expect that for something like that to happen. But now from a gang culture and a street perspective, far as his concerns, it's supposed to happen, especially if it's a C car, like if it's a bus for the Crips. And at this particular time, the Crips can be split up amongst one another with its enemies. But once they go to jail, a lot of shit cease. It ceases and fades to a unification where they come together. So for him, he would catch the blues by a C car because the Crips gonna move on that based on the protocol and the status that Nip had as a youngin' from his generation. Far as him overall, he gonna catch the blues, man, as far as he would never be able to breathe and have no fresher breath air as walking around somewhere in a general population and being amongst individuals that he called his homeboys anymore. That's not gonna happen. That's a wrap. Because somebody will take up on that initiation, whether it's not nothing just to get that credibility, say, yeah, I knocked that nigga down for Nip, cuz. I knocked this motherfucking ass down. It's individuals that think like that because that's our culture that we lived in and grew up in. So you got individuals that think like that. Let that nigga come around me. Yeah, everybody gonna know I choked him out myself, killed him. Whatever, I ain't never getting out. I got double life. They gonna do to me, give me another life sentence? You got niggas that think like that, so you can't put him around them kind of niggas. These is real hitters and killers. So he gotta be around individuals who's in the same floating boat that he's in. PC. I'm running for the rest of my life, man, for something, man. I f***ed up. I violated myself because I didn't think. I found myself in the wrong place at the wrong time. I didn't think. I reacted. And now this is my results. I f***ed up. So he'd never breathe, Capone. He'd never get no air to really breathe or say, you know, a lesson. That chapter of 60s is he from. Some niggas that's on the yard as generals or got rank or say so, take him under the wing and say, no, to them, he a soldier. And what he did was justifiable for as our eyes under the gang culture and the street code was justifiable. That he rocking with us, cuz. You remember the OG Bobby Johnson? Remember when Bobby Johnson was in prison and he was trying to make that decision where he wanted to go on the Muslim side or stay over here with the deuces? And the deuces rolled up on him and say, OG Bobby Johnson, what's happening? He said, man, give me a second, man, to breathe. Man, I'm thinking right now. But then his Shermhead partner went over there with the white boys, and the white boys, he owed him for some boxes of cigarettes. So they pushed up on him, and OG Bobby Johnson stepped up and said, that, it's the OG call. This is my homeboy. Feel me? Even though he's Shermhead. But Bobby Johnson made that call because he was from the same clique with him. See, now, by right on politics, they rolled him and Bobby Johnson up because now you start a war with another race over this Shermhead. You see the difference? So it's like, bro, he would never be able to breathe unless he get that umbrella put on him from his own hood in that own chapter, and they put that umbrella on him and say, no, that's the homie, this the young homie, and we rocking with him. That's the only way he'd be able to walk a real man yard, but a real prison, he ain't never hit no man yard in no real prison. Probably one of these correction facilities or these sensitive ass, soft ass system knee yards that they call them now. Yeah, he can walk them. It's a whole lot of niggas up there that's gonna embrace him and hug him and say, yeah, man, homie, you did the right shit. Cause they scary asses on the same yard. They trying to get out. They ain't knocking nothing down. Nothing. Now he can survive through them kind of yards. It's a chance he can survive through them yards, but he gonna have hell if he hit any level foes where them real hitters is. It ain't happening.
With him, going to prison and going through everything he's going to go through, do you think he's even going to be at risk in PC? Like there might even be like, cause he got beat up in LA County jail and that was allegedly by another PC dude too.
Allegedly, right? Now, just to answer that question, I would be giving game to TV Land. So I'm gonna answer that question. The only way that happens, the only way he gets moved on in PC allegedly by other PCs, is because there was an exchange agreement. You put that work in and get that something, bitch. We take the card off your head. You can come on home. And all the time when he come home, they gonna knock his ass down because they been warning you anyway. So it's just a use for you situation. That's the only way that can happen. If you can follow that. Like, put for an example, if I was after somebody and I know chances are they're gonna keep them separated from me, so I can't get to them to put my own vengeance down. I know I can't, but I got enough power. I got enough manpower. I got enough mental manipulation, and I got money. Even though I'm an OG stuck up in this system, but I'm an OG getting money in the system, just like I was on the street, because I ain't out here. I didn't gave up my soul. I laid down. I came right in the system strong like I supposed to, because I know I'm stuck. So I got to make the best of it. So my mind think the same way it was on the outside. I ain't lay down. I ain't let the system break me. So with that being said, I'm gonna utilize my soldiers. Feel me? Okay. P, check this out. I need you to roll it up. Nah. A through B, handle that. Bottom line. So I just sent the soldier to PC, basically. We know he in PC. Everybody else think he in PC, but we already know why he there. We know, so therefore he not really PC, but to everybody else it's PC. But to his gang, to his structure, to what he's stand for, and what he rep, we already know what he there for. He there for sole purpose. So he's not there for no PC. He there because he's a soldier on a mission. So that's why when he handle his business, he coming up out of there. When they book him and go to court, he going to death row or wherever they send him, but he gonna be in a mainline facility with the rest of the killers, like he was already is, when they sent him. That's the only way those things happen, bro.
Okay, I see.
See, again, that's this internet watered down with the assumptions and the illusions of what they see, but not really knowing what really, really goes on behind the motherfucking walls. Real shit go on, man. Like, it's really, it's sad, and I hate to say it, man, because here it is, you and I, bro, Black and Hispanics, you know what I'm saying? We sitting here in collaboration, two individuals who have platforms and shows, and I'm conducting this interview with you. But now on the other side of the world, our people is at war, homie. The northern and the southern Hispanic Mexicans have come together and congregated as one. All this killing each other, which was the smartest shit they could have done. We supposed to be doing the same shit. And then we supposed to be in congregation with them as far as meeting to recognize, hey, y'all ain't our mother enemies and we ain't y'all enemies. These some bitches are our enemies, the oppressors, the mother who got us in here and is holding us, kicking us in the ass, making us eat this dirt ass poison food, poisoning us, the whole nine. Those are our enemies, bro. Stop being mentally up and mentally warped to think this shit all boils down to a brown and black shit. They're going to keep making it be like that, bro, as long as we don't have the structure and the mentality to be strong enough to snap out of and say, wait, hold on, wait a minute. Them brothers ain't our enemy. The Mexicans ain't our enemy. Feel me? See, I don't play this new generation shit, my nigga. Mexicans can't call me niggas. I don't call them Mexicans. It's a difference. I grew up with Sureños, Southsiders, essays, niggas who walk with their pants up and was cholo, stand cholo, real gangsters. I grew up with that, so that's all I know. So it's for me to speak on this new shit. People be having a problem with it because I ain't used to this new movement, this new millennium, this new watered down shit. I ain't gonna get used to it. I'm just here. I landed on y'all planet and I'm still living. I'm still surviving. That's just all it is, man. Get used to it, nigga. But I'm not gonna change who I am. I'm gonna still live from protocol, substance, morals, principles, values, respect, honor. That's who I am, bro. And I'm gonna die on that. I stand on it. So that's the difference, man. It's a big difference. So it's like, it's crazy because we don't even see that and understand that on the outside. Like this really thing, I got phone calls, I got homies that's hurt right now in these wars, in the prison system and behind the walls. I got phone calls. My homies is in the hospital, a couple of niggas I know, real dudes from different blood sections and different sexes, Keyways, Crips and Bloods, and just brothers. All behind because we manipulated. We f***ed up here, brown and black. Because anytime we still on some gang shit in 2023, man, we all f***ed up. Leave it alone, man. Us who come from them 70s, them 80s, and the last of them 90s, y'all never, ever, ever catch up. You'll never rewrite this shit. You will never be able to withstand the pressure and the wars and the shit that we had to go through. Leave it alone. Do you understand what mistakes mean? That means your daddies, your uncles, your big brothers, your grandfathers, they made all the mistakes for y'all, not that to make them motherfucking mistakes. Why the fuck y'all want to try to follow the same shit or redo it and think y'all doing it better? Come on, man. Bullshit. Ain't mean to go that way, drift you way up north, man. But
nah, it's all good. It's all good, man. You mentioned, prison. Staying on that subject, man. How old were you when you first went to prison, and what was that experience like for you?
when I first coming out of YA I had two temp bodies, ADWs, and I ended up with the 7 to life deals they used to give us back then. So I did 4 years, went to board. The board found me fit because I had to go to board, suited up and talk to the board and beg for my freedom. And they released me. Came home 12, 13 months later at 21, going on 22, before my 22nd birthday, 21, called my first prison case, called 2 counts of a body, 3 counts of ADW, 2 counts of conspiracy, a firebomb. I had like multiple counts, like at least 8 to 9 counts with 32 crimes. I had called my first prison case, and that was the HK case, the Hawkins case. And so from there, we pleaded out, and I ended up getting 4 years and went to prison for my first joke for 4 years. And I ended up maxing out on my whole 4 years. I didn't do half time, none of that, because I was up. Catching, I caught a case in prison, and I fought it for about 9 months, and I ended up beating it. And I maxed out. And I did all my time at, level 4s, shoe programs.
Shoe program.
Yeah.
Can you, for the people who don't know, can you detail what the shoe program and what it's like?
I'm glad that you asked me that question, Pone, because again, shoe, PC. This day and stage, y'all call it sensitive need. We ain't had none of that shit in our era. None of it. It didn't even exist. It was either PC or shoe. Shoe, security housing unit. Security housing unit. That's where they keep all the bad niggas. Black, brown, and white. If you was tough, you was a nigga that was a threat in the system, you was up, you gonna be in shoe. Some of them had indeterminate sentences, which means you're gonna be, if you got life, we're gonna throw you in the shoe and put a lock on you, a lock and weld your lock. That's what they do in Folsom, old Folsom. Lock, weld your shit in, and we'll come holler at you when we feel like coming holler at you. It might be 2 years from now, 4 years, even 10 years. I got homies. Literally, bro.
What do you have in there? When you're in this cell, you're in a small cell. What do you have in there with you in the shoe?
Before it started getting, really comfortable over the years now, back in our days, see, we didn't have what these cats got right now. We didn't have the luxury. They had no TVs and radios. You had to work for that. They would literally throw us in the shoe first, and you had to go to classification, earn to get your TV, your radio, and your zooms and whams to even have in your cell.
So you'd be in there.
You in them damn walls, man.
You'd have a mattress, a pillow, and soap, toothbrush, toothpaste.
That's right, in them walls. And your homies just on the tiers with you. That's it. Feel me?
No books?
Yeah, you'll get it. See, what happens is either you're a soldier or you're an individual with ranking. So when you come in, your homie's gonna lace you. So you already got homies that's been there for years already, who got zoom, soups. So you're gonna be straight until you get your stuff. You won't starve unless you one of them busters and you ain't got no business. They put you over there by mistake anyway, and they gonna get you up out of there. But if you a homie, they gonna take care of you. Your homie's gonna look out for you. So it's just shoe man itself is just a place where it's not something to brag about, boast about, but it's crazy because the experiences that we had and the things that we had to endure and go through, man, you cats don't have the slightest idea, man, how easy I have it and how you some bitches get to put y'all shit and post it up on the internet right now. And you ass weenie ass niggas in the pen dancing and shit and partying in the pen. Man, we ain't go through no shit like that. Oh, got killed doing that kind of shit in our era. We wasn't having that shit. Even level 2 or 3 yards was going up back then. Feel me? Now it's just, I'm like, how they able to do this shit in the prison systems? They in there having parties. Feel me? I see one cat, he literally got his own shopping network in a store. Now him, I couldn't do nothing but salute my hat to him. I said, my boy, a cold hustler. So I think he was about Chicago or Detroit, one of them, man. Straight had a whole, or Atlanta. I think he was from Atlanta. Had a whole store, man. Store, clothing, and his shit over here. Show his whole clothing line over here in the closet. Clothes hanging up. I said, what the? I said, man, look at, no one of these dudes don't want to come home. You feel me?
No shit, hustling.
I say, man, this is crazy, bro.
Well, I seen there was a situation where they put you in the wrong unit with a bunch of Crips at one point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, that happened a few times, a couple of times in my path and experience of things. But yeah, you probably talking about the time when I was speaking about Tehachapi level 3. They threw me, Tehachapi, yeah, I was in level 3 for transit, and they shot me over to a 2-yard and shot me into one of them dormitory buildings. And I don't do dorms. I'm always a cell man. It's either cell, I'm straight cell. 2-man cell, 4-man cells if I'm in the county jail or something, 4 or 6-man cells because I'm in the blood module or the module or a main line or something. But I'm used to cells, but I don't do them dorms. I can't sleep on a 1, 2, or 3, 2 other niggas stacked on top of a bunk. I don't know, bro. I come up out of real wars and shit, man. So my mind is different and I can't do time like that in the opening. And see, when you had them kind of situations, you got privileges because everything is wide open. So a lot of CEOs ain't paying attention, they ain't watching shit. And I come from a whole different era where we gotta sneak or everything is timing to even get to what you want to do. Or if you're trying to attack and hit them up, it's all time. And now here, it's wide open. Like you can catch him up walking and catch him in the laundry room or something. They won't catch his ass till 2 days later or something. San Quentin, Folsom, Tracy, Soledad is different. You know, it's a whole different ball game. So it's just different elements. So when they sent me there, I was waiting in transit to shoot. They were supposed to send me back up north. I was due to go to San Quentin and I ended up going back to Folsom. So when I ended up going to Folsom, but before I even got to Folsom, they sent me there. And when they sent me to Tehachapi, they transferred me over there by mistake from level 3. And so when they sent me over there, the same night they sent me in, the homie Butter Red from PDL was on the yard. And he was supposed to be running the blood card at that time. But now the homies had a mutual agreement. It was only like 7 or 8 homies on the yard. So wasn't nobody flaming so high. I can't tell no bloods out here. So I go to the rock pile, the buff that evening, and later on that night I come back in. And when I come back in, I said, damn, I can't really go to sleep because I got to peep out everything and find out these fools moving and they shifts at night. So I'm tired, but I'm like, damn, I can't go to sleep. So I hit this cat up and I say, hey, homie, this dude from up north, tell him, look, man, I got a few soups. I got to go to classification and get all my property and everything because, you know, I'm fresh off the bus, but I got a few soups. A couple of homies gave me earlier today. I said, man, I'll give you a few soups. Just wash my back right quick. Let me run in here and take me a shower. I just got off the rock pile and shit. Before count time, I want to shower. So I showered all up real quick, had my boots on, showered up. I put my clothes back on, dressed up. Count time come for that last count at night now when they call lights out. And when they call lights out, mind you, this is this huge ass building with at least about, from the top of my head and just visiting it, I want to say anywhere between 200 to 300 inmates in one section, one building. So you got 1, 2, 3 buildings. So you got upstairs, downstairs. So this whole downstairs section, it's about 200 to 300 inmates in here. Hispanics, blacks, whites, and different gangs. But the primary gang who's running it is the Crip car. Ain't no Bloods in this, and they put me in headquarters on top of that. You know what headquarters mean?
Nope.
This is where all the main Crips at. This the headquarters. I ain't got no business over here. None whatsoever. Feel me? They not gonna allow me to set up in headquarters. Not him. Not this one. His leadership is too impeccable. If he set up, we'll have a problem now. It's gonna be a war. Not him. They roll my ass up immediately. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I got out the shower. I sit on my top bunk, waiting on count, and I laid back. So when I laid back, Pone, I took my blanket and just put the blanket over me. I got my boots on, mind you, I'm fully dressed. I laid back. And I never forget it because I remember they called his name. It was like, eyes, green eyes. And I remember when I jumped up off my bunk and fired, and I looked right in his face. He had green eyes and shit, you know what I'm saying? But a cat from Compton, they sent the youngster at me first, and he came at me, and I got a scar on my shoulder right here across my shoulder. He came right at me, and I was laid down, sleep. And when I was laid down, just the motion and the intuition of me being in prisons and me, like I say, being on point and being in wars and shit, coming from the streets and coming from out them projects, my intuition kicked right in. My eyes snapped wide open as the blow was coming down, and I seen it. And he hit me, boom, in my shoulder. And when he hit me in my shoulder, I flipped off the bed, bam, I came down in the air. When I came down, I came right on him, boom, boom, fired on him. Instead of him having aggression and just stay on me, because that's what I'd have did if it was me. Once I'd have poked him, I'd have been on him. He wouldn't have got off that bunk. I'd have grabbed him and been on his ass. Instead, he hit me. So that let me know he was scared. He didn't have that aggression. And I came right off the bunk on him. Boom, boom. And now my aggression kicked in now because I know it's survival. They finna beat me. These niggas finna stomp me out. And ain't no telling how many more knives is coming at me. I don't know. I don't know what's coming from my left, from my blind, from the back. All I know right now, I gotta get to that door. Everything in front of me moving, I'm thumping on. I gotta get to that door. That's what I did. So when I fired on him, boom, boom. I came right back. When I fired on him, I get hit. Boom, boom. Brrr, and we mix it. Boom, 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 and I'm running to the door. Blah, 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 bam, 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 and we fighting. And they on me. Boom, boom, boom. Bam. Again, like I say, another one come and swing on me. And I dip out of it. And at the same time, here come the CEOs busting the door. Get out, get out. They grab me. Get out, who are you? What are you doing? I said, man, what you mean what I'm doing? And then the CEO came in and said, Johnson, called my name. Get him out of here. He's a party hunter. Blood. I said, man, y'all don't want to put me in this mother. And when I was leaving out the building, they were like, yeah, get that slime out of there, get that ply. We just gonna kill this punk. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, you crab ass niggas, whoop, whoop. And we banging on each other and they take me to the hole. True life story. But this is what I'm saying. This is the type of real live shit that we had to go through in order to even be a real Damu, bro. Not no watered down carnation, some fake ass nigga get on the internet and become whatever you want to be on this internet now, and you never really know. I really lived this shit, and people lived it with me and lived it through it. Real homies from all over. Went through shit. Got their own stories that ain't probably never be told, but within they self, but went through some real shit and still survived through it. Both sides. Crips went through shit too. Don't get it twisted up. Oh, when we caught them, we caught their ass. And they caught the blues. Just like when they gave it to us. It was always vice versa.
Would you say that was your worst fight when you were locked down that time?
When you say worse, what do you mean by worse? Because you got fights. Capone, you got fights.
You got jumped and stabbed.
Yeah, you got fights and then you got rat packs. You know what I'm saying?
Right. This was more of a jumping, it sounds like. They jumped you.
It was a rat pack. Shit, that was like my third encounter rat pack. My worstome, and I told this on my channel, but my worstome experience as far as getting packed out, bruh, was Los Angeles County Jail. My only experience of getting packed out in prison was two different occasions. Was because, like I said, they set me up. They put me in the units. Like there, they sent me to the wrong yard, put me in that building. When I was in Cochran, level 4, I'm in SHU in Bedrock. They threw me down a tier and knew the tier was predominant all Crips. Feel me? There wasn't no Bloods on this tier. Just all Crips. And a couple of mafias, Mexican mafia cliques, Hispanics, and some ABs. I'm the only Blood. And they put me on the tier with my rival enemies, Great Streets and PJs and Carver Parks. Feel me? So that was my second prison encounter Rat Pack, which was, I got up out of that. That wasn't nothing. You feel me? They tried to rush me in my cell, and it was like several of them. And it was too many of them because A1, I know how to fight, and I know how to fight in the cell. I know how to counterattack back and defense and jump in defensive mode. So they couldn't really get to me and get me. So I was able to get down with them niggas. But the county jail, I ain't gonna front. They brought it to me on that one right there. That was my first actual experience of a Rat Pack because they blanket parted me before in Wayside. You feel me? Which was a blanket party is where they throw the blanket over you while you sleep. So I got a blanket party in Wayside.
Oh shit.
Yeah, man, this is what happened when you one of the real ones, man. And you coming up in the rankings, man. Cause them Crips was cripping, man. Shit. But yeah, so the county jail, like I say, they rushed me in the county jail, and in the county jail, at this time, this is 82, because I'm going in on a violation. They sent me to a 90-day violation because I'm fresh out of wire, like I said, so I had went in on a violation, and then I got back out for those 13 months before I caught the prison case. So when I went in, Pee Wee from East Coast was actually basically running the tier at that time, and he was one of my YA boys I knew from East Coast Crip. There was a couple of cats in there from YA that I knew from YA. There was, cats that was seniority, but nevertheless, they put me in a tier with nothing but strictly Los Angeles gang member bangers, Crips. And I mean banging niggas. Hoovers, Great Streets, PJ Watts, Harlems, East Coasters. What else was on that tier? It was a sprinkle. A couple of 8-tray gangsters up in there. This one, it wasn't no separation. It wasn't no, the Hoovers and the East Coasters didn't get along, and the such and such, and the Broadways was there too as well. No, see, they was all combined together, which made it worse for me. And this was 1982. Coming out of 81, coming into 82, because I was fresh out of YA, into 82 for a violation, fresh at 82, man. And bro, listen, when I hit the tier, I got on some black Pumas with red, the big fluffy red shoestring. And this one, the colors were so significant for us. I'm talking about funeral after funeral after funeral for these dumbass colors that we killed over. Red or either blue. You feel what I'm saying? So I had on some black Pumas with some red shoestrings in them. Some black khakis, red, I had a shirt on with red and black in it when I got arrested. So when I got arrested, I had on black Pumas with my red shoestrings in them. Hit the county jail, man. Hit the chow hall, 3,000 floor. When they gave me my bunk in my bed in, I hit the chow hall before I get ready going for my bed and I go to eat. So they told us to put our stuff in the laundry room and then go to chow hall. I went in the chow hall, but when I walked to the chow hall, and this is the same floor in the same year and time when the little karate cat beat up the police at the Los Angeles County Jail in this same chow hall I'm eating in. The stories you heard about the Kung Fu dude look like Bruce Lee, yeah, it's a true story, true shit happened. It's the same year, the era, in that chow hall I'm eating it out of. So I go through the chow hall. As soon as I hit the chow hall, you can hear people talking. You can hear the noise fluctuating. You can hear the sound of everything. And bro, somebody spotted me, and it was a nigga from the Jordan Downs. And I could hear him say my name, and then he said, "What that Great Street like, cuz?" And I turned around and said, "Bounty Hunters." So I threw up the beat, boom. And as I'm walking down the line, you just see niggas start throwing up their sets and hollering out their sets and their audibles. And man, I got on these Pumas, and they looked at my shoes, and I'm not realizing I'm in this chow hall, and it's full of Crips. It's all kind of brothers in here, blacks from all over, but predominantly it's Crips. I ain't hear no What's up, blood? None of that. So I'm like, what the? And mind you, I'm young and I'm fresh in the county. This is my first joke. So I'll bail on through the line, get my tray, sit down at the table with the others to eat. As I'm trying to eat, motherfucker push it up on me, getting at me. You know what I'm saying? They throwing they said and stay talk to me, so I can't really even eat. So they run us on out, run the line back out, give us our tier assignment on where we going. I get down to tier, get up into my cell. They put me in Denver Road, right in the middle. I get up in my cell. When I get in, now it's nighttime. Cat, when you come down the tier, cats get to holler, who is that? Who that coming in? You know, and of course, you know, it's Crips, so you're gonna hear cuz. Who is that, cuz? Wait, who is that? Who is that coming in? So I go to Denver, put me in the cell. I'm in the cell with a light-skinned older dude in his 30s at that time from Compton. But he swept him down. He told me he wasn't no gangbanger. I'm in there with another older dude from Carver Park area. I'm in there with another brother that was an actual Campanella Park Pyru, but he swept it down. He don't bang no more. How you don't bang no more, homie? And you the same age as me. How that happen? You mean you stop banging or you don't bang no more? So I'm reluctant. I don't even want to talk to him then. So I'm basically by myself. So what I did do was I just asked him, I said, hey, bro, you got a toothbrush? And the Campanella cat, he told me, yeah, I got a toothbrush on me. So he gave me the toothbrush and I started working on me a little thing, carving my shit. So that night was the only night I was able to spend a night in there. But that night they was asking, who is that just came in? Who is that? Who in Denver? And I around, so I'm just sitting there listening. They say, who is? I don't know, homie. Say, homie, who is that just came in Denver? I said, who asked it? He said, such is, cuz. I said, homie, I ain't your cousin, homie. I'm from Nipsey Garden Bounty Hunters. They say, what? 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 That's all you kept hearing. What, cuz? Oh, woo. Then you start hearing audibles, start hearing them sets coming out. Niggas was hollering out this, woo-to. Oh, we got us one. Yeah, we got us one. So come that next falling morning, breakfast, soon the gate opened, I shot up out that bitch. Choom! Shot straight to the front of the gate. Put my back on the gate, stood right there. Niggas came out, they looking. We go to breakfast. Let me come back in. Niggas just looking at me. Ain't nobody really saying nothing. They sizing me and looking at me. I see Pee-wee. I talk to Pee-wee for a second. He tell me right then and there, if I go lock it back up during breakfast, he just tell me, hey, homie, just get your shit and just get on, my nigga. Roll on up, homie. They gonna come at you, man. He tried to give me a fair warning, like, they finna come at you. You feel me? And I was like, this shit, man, you know the rules. I can't roll it up. That's what I can't do. They gotta roll me up. If I get Rat Pack rolled up out of here, that's the way I'm supposed to go. As far as me volunteer, it ain't gonna happen. He said, well, shit, it's out my hands, my duke. I said, all right, it's cool, my nigga. I went on in my cell. Lunchtime came. I ain't make it to lunch. Same thing. Soon the gates racked, I shot out. Went to the front of the bar. But this time when I get to the front of the bar, here come Marcelli, the OG fool. I told you, light-skinned fool with the big afro. I'm to my pissy yellow, look like he was with freckles. Swole nigga too. And it was like, he's standing between the middle of the bars like this. Like his foot on the bar and his arms on the bar. So when I hit my back on the bar, I'm about at least 1 or 2 feet away from him. So I'm standing here, here they come. And you can see them throwing each other up from the bottom tier, giving each other a lift. And I remember this little bitty mother, about 4 feet tall. I'll never hit that shit. Cause I remember this distinctively, right? And so here they come. Gray Streets and the PJs hitting me up. We going back and forth at it. You know, we saying our Bloods and Crip curse words to one another, back and forth. Pee-wee standing right there in cell 1. Now, what he didn't do, I give to him, he didn't participate. Feel me? But he knew it was going down. So as I take my stance, like, you niggas, woo, I'm talking shit, they come, woo. But before they can even come, he found me and sent me to him. The old motherfucker. This how he sent me to him. Fire hit me right in my temple, boom. And when he hit me in my temple, I spent to look at him like, oh, and I fell right into him. It was on, beep, 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 beep. They on me. Now I'm just fighting. Boom, 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 boom. But my main concern is don't let these niggas get me down this tier. Stay in this little perimeters right here, because that's all the little room I got. That's the only room I got is right here. Stay right in that perimeter. And that's where they was beating me on. Blam, blam, blam. So finally, they got a hold of my legs, Pone. Made me do the splits.
What the fuck?
One leg went this way, one leg went that way, and they had me, bro. And I said, oh no. They had me, and I grabbed the bars. And I clutched to the bar like this so I can cover my face and just let them stomp me and kick me in my ribs and shit. And I was just breathing, hold my breath, was breathing, and I said, blood down, deputy, blood down, blood down. And they was just on me, boom, 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 kicking me. So by the time the sheriffs got up there and got to me, I've got a good minute and a half, probably 2 minute ass whooping, right? The last mother kicking me, when I come up out my ball, it's that little bitty 4 feet motherfucker I told you. And his name turned out, he was Lil Killer, because you got Lil Killer and Big Killer from 107 Hoover, the Grooves, right? It was Lil Killer, and Lil Killer was in there for murders. It was like 25, 30 motherfuckers in there for murders at this time, right? And so he was the last one. I jumped up and grabbed his little ass, and I'm on him, socking him and trying to throw his little ass over the tee, and the police get me. Boom. Sock me, hit me, handcuff me, throw me on the bars. And when they throw me in the bars, they put me on the wall, and they walk up to me, say, where you from, man? Who is you? I said, from Bounty Hunters, man. He said, you from Bounty Hunters? He said, man, what are you doing over here? I said, they put me over here, man. He say, you from Bounty Hunters? He said, man, you damn Bounty Hunters can fight, boy. He said, because they been whooping ass over here, and we been pulling shit up out of here on gurneys, man. I said, man, I don't know nothing about none of that, man, but all that shit, man. And I look up, my shoes gone, Pone. Yeah, remember when I told you they split my legs?
Yeah.
When they split my legs, and at that time, you used to carry your money either in your nuts or your socks. My bankroll was in my sock. So they was trying to get to my sock first and foremost, but instead they snatched my Pumas off first. And when they slacked my Pumas, I had them tied around my ankle. So they snatched my Pumas off. I didn't even realize my shoes was gone. So basically, I got rat packed and robbed, man, in the county jail, man. Bounty Hunter PJ, man. There it is, there, TV land. My first county jail joke. They rat packed me and robbed me for my Pumas. But it's a story to that robbery. I got them Pumas back from Big Killer. Yeah. Funny how shit goes, man. Yeah, in less than 24 hours, I got them Pumas back from Big Killer. And Big Killer had nothing to do with the whole transaction. He was coming down from San Quentin, man.
And he got you your shoes back?
No, we ended up in the hole together. We was either he ain't going to sleep. Me and this nigga on Swole, we about the same size, saying he ain't going to sleep. I'm getting my shoes. Once I spotted him. I mean, that's just a story within itself how that happened, man, because it was just all ironic how he ended up on a tier and we ended up sellies in the hole. And he got my Pumas. Because he bought them from the fools off the tier in the module he had just came from. So when they found out he on the module, they shot him straight to the hole. But anyway, nevertheless, yeah, man, they got me on that one, man. Got me good. Hit me with a big old, I left out with the doohickey shot right here on the forehead, Paul. I had the doohickey on the forehead. Had the doohickey right here. No busted lip. My nose is bleeding, but no busted lip, no teeth, none of that shit knocked out because I was clenched real well on the head. My ribs were swollen because they kicked me out of my ribs and shit. That was swollen, but other than that, I was good. So they threw me in the barbershop, and I seen my big homie coming across the line, going to Chow. No, coming from Chow, they were going back to his module, and I looked on the window, I beat on the window, I say, Philippine! It was my big homie, Philip Thornton. So I told him, hey, man, let me go over there with my homie, that's my homie. Let me go with him, man, let me go in the same wing with him. And he was like, hold on, you got to go see clarification. I said, but that's my big homie. So he jumped out of line and came over there. What's going on? I said, they just rushed me over here and module over here and shit. Look at my head, Phil. He looked at me and laughed. He said, oh, you good? He said, tell him I'm over here at 3200. Try to get over here. I said, all right. So I tried to get over there with him. And they ended up sending me somewhere else, man. Then I went to Wayside from there.
I believe I seen you went to prison 3 different times. Now, what was it about the last time that was like, I'm done? Like, this is it for me.
Well, I said that every time I went because I hate prison. I'm one thing about me. Um, I'm not one to ever glamorize that shit. I wouldn't tell these kids, boy, if the smartest gangsters is the gangsters don't go to prison. How about that? You could be the smartest, hardest gangster in the world if you don't go to prison. We did a lot of dumb shit and went to prison, and a lot of us was smart back then, but we weren't smart enough to beat the system, because if we were smart enough to beat the system, we wouldn't have done the dumb shit to be in the system. So it don't make you hardcore. It don't make you no man. It don't make you no damn gangster because you hit the yards, homie. Being smart is being out here, being free. Bottom line. So for me, the impact for me came having my firstborn, little BJ. That's when it really started setting in my head, like, damn. And that was the last of the 80s before the 90s hit, like 88. Like, it really stung me because I wanted to deliver my son, my firstborn. I ended up delivering my twins, but my overall plan, I was supposed to deliver my son. My son was born October the 1st, 1988. I missed his birthday, his born day, by 10 days. I got raided in the projects, coming out the jungles, back to my hood, raided in the projects, got caught with a half a bird and a pistol, and ended up pleading out, taking a 3-year plea bargain deal, and pleaded out, and ended up going back to prison on a whole new joke. So I missed his deliverance and delivering him, which was my overall plan. And so just being down that time, it made me think a lot more than I used to in the early 80s, when I was just really, really, really radical and just really, really banged out, which I'm still banged out, but I'm starting to think now, because now I done broke my character in half. I'm hustling. Now I'm a major D-boy and a major gangbanger. And my big homie told me, it don't work like that. You gotta pick a side. I said, that, bro, I'm dedicated to Nixon, homie. I'm a die-hard bounty hunter, boo. What you mean? And it was my big homie, Boo Boo Atkins, because I used to work for him, and that's who was the first OG who put me down with Wait. You feel me? And from there, that's how I was connected to Rick, Chico Brown, and those big name cats, and was able to buy my weight and purchase weight and shit in them areas back then, because I was taught and groomed by some of the best of the best. Dee, you know what I'm saying? DJ, my homeboy DJ, feel me? So he told me that those two characters wasn't gonna coincide, it wasn't gonna work. But I did it anyway. I gang bang and hustle. I figure like this. If I'm a full-time gangbanger and I'm not getting no money, I'm gonna be broke. And I'm not a raggedy looking gangbanger. I gotta be sharp for the ladies. I gotta look a certain way. I gotta be appealing. So that's gonna take money. So I had to hustle. So I did them both and did them both swell, until I got to a level where I said, okay, I started gradually pushing away from the gang aspect of things and solely concentrating on my D-boy life, to where I took that to another level. So then, going into my late 20s, I made my first meal ticket illegally. Then jumped into my 30s, coming out the pen, and my sister has always been my right arm man in the gang when I started hitting on these levels. So I ran a system from Cochran through Missouri and Oklahoma from the pen through my sister. That was my loyalty right there, my sister. And I had one lieutenant that I trusted. And so I was able to still build in and out. So a lot of my homies, they didn't understand back then, like, how was this nigga going in the pen and then come home, he's still super up? Because when I left, I kept a plan in perspective. Then I had runners. A lot of niggas didn't get visits in the pen. I got visits. I had runners.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I always was able to keep my mind in rotation and keep my plan in rotation as well as I did on the streets. So I never had to depend on nobody. So nobody never sent me nothing, gave me nothing. And a lot of my homies, that was their reason of being like, man, nigga, you're a rich nigga in the streets, man. You had it already. So what? I send it to people. I'm looking out for homies. So a lot of that started embedding in my mind and started making me feel a certain kind of way. So when I parole and come home, I wasn't liking niggas. I wasn't certain homies. I ain't with you niggas. Niggas didn't give me nothing. Everything I ever got in my life, I got it on my own. Pony, nobody give me shit. Nobody give me no ride, and nobody gave me no boost. The industry, I'd have been blackballed out the industry on 2 different occasions where I could have had, a 10, 15, $20 million deals in place, but niggas didn't spoke on my name. Feel me? Niggas didn't block my blessings, and then I blocked my own blessings. I'm going to be the first to say that before anything. I blocked some of my own blessings in the game because I blocked myself from 2 major films that I was already locked and loaded in, bro. And it would have just launched my careers to the levels that they were supposed to be on. So you live and you learn. That's what I did. I lived, I learned off of it, and I grew. Instead of being bitter behind it, I grew from it, bro. And I continue to knock down doors. See, a lot of people don't realize, understand that Rick had a right-on partner that was always the silent partner that the world never knew. See, when Freeway name kicked in and the world grew on this big name, Freeway Rick, it wasn't just Freeway Rick. Chico Brown was the nigga.
I interviewed Chico.
Yeah, that's my guy. Feel me?
Okay.
Chico from Compton. See, people didn't know that. Chick was the man, but they was homies. So, of course, yeah, I know Rick. Great dude, great brother, you know what I'm saying? Not really getting his significant props right now today, man, as opposed to
they've done him
where
dirty,
he come from in his era, and then Snowfall and all that, that's him and Chico. That's him and Chico and Blandon. You know what I'm saying? And the crazy part about it is like, I'm signed on, and I have a non-disclosure that I'm signed to, so I won't really go into depths, but I'm signed on to a film project with Chico Brown right now based on Snowfall meeting the real actual origin and the story of what took place with Chico Brown and Ricky Ross and Blandon. I'm starring in that film. You know what I mean? They have some names. We talking about like Mel Street. Mel Street is Tiffany Haddish, just to name a few. Mark Wahlberg, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just waiting. I'm on call for it right now, bro. Got the script, everything. Script is bomb. Script is a heavy story, bro. Blew my head back. I had to read at least 3 times and then my character itself, I play the best friend of Chico growing up. So my character itself is an impeccable character. It's like, it's going to be a memorable character for film, bro, that they'll never forget this character. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited, and I hated it because we were writing full heads, going into finance productions and everything. And not only I'm signing on with him, I'm signing on with Bo Carson of Signature Film, Universal Signature Film. I'm signing on with him with a big film as well, based on the car wash situation. Again, I have an NDA that I've signed over there, so a non-disclosure, so I'm not able to be able to speak in the details of certain things, but I have a main character and role in that film, and it's based around the actual 5 murders that took place at the car wash in Compton, which led up to the Tupac murder and Tupac war that took place. You feel me? Based on true story, true events. So I was able to, learn from putting myself in these stages to be able to kick down other doors, man, and seal these deals and put myself in pocket, man. So now, with the blessings of God, Allah, man, and my changes and my growth component, I'm just waiting. I'm on call. I'm waiting on us to come up out this damn strike. Hell, I got 3 residuals I just picked up last week. I haven't even opened them up yet. They might be $100, $40, and $32. I don't know shit, but this is how they do it. So this is why the strike is all in place, man, So I'm just waiting on this strike to come up, man, because right now this strike is killing us, man. Shout out to my manager, man, Tone Productions, man, at Tone Media. I'm right now due to go to Atlanta to do some work. So I'm waiting to leave to Atlanta right now, man, to get down to the A and do some work right now, man. And like I say, this strike is really killing us, and it's just prolonging a lot of stuff. Because if we wasn't in this strike, man, I'll be all over the place right now because I got a lot of things in stored already. It's just on hold because of these strikes.
Speaking of Tupac, Keefe D has recently had his house raided. And there are rumors that he is going to have to face trial for the murder of Tupac. I've heard that they're putting together a grand jury right now, and they are calling witnesses in. to testify in front of a grand jury. So they're expecting a warrant to be issued for Keefe D probably within the next month, maybe even sooner.
Interesting, huh?
Yep.
So, your question.
What's your thoughts on that?
What's my thoughts on that? Well, again, it's funny because, like I was just explaining, express about one of the projects that I'm in. Just kind of like a sneak. His name is attached in it.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so it just go to show you, TV land, when cats come on here and you know, we want to portray these roles as I'm the baddest gangster and I did this and did that. One thing a lot of niggas ain't keeping in mind. See, I speak on things and I share my livelihood because I know exactly what I'm talking about. I know exactly what I'm putting out there in the protection of myself, where it's not gonna fall back on me. It's not gonna put me back in prison because I didn't do time for that case. That's still an open damn case. I don't do them shits. I won't even allow you to ask me them damn questions. You feel me? So I'm smart enough and sharp enough to know to keep my mouth shut. Where it's certain things you come on here and say as an OG, and certain shit you don't say. And Keefe D had no business open his mouth, period, and negotiating and saying nothing about the Tupac shit. You should have lied and made up some names, damn motherfucker, to get out of that situation. But you should have never used your nephew because he was dead, which implicated your ass. And you thought, oh, but they gave me liberty, or they gave me this position or this certain deal where they couldn't come back and book me. Oh no, that ain't what the deal was, obviously, because you didn't fucking pay attention. They said the situation right now. Not down the line 15, 20 years later, we can't come get your ass. No, that ain't what they told you. You weren't paying attention to your snitch deal, obviously, because it was clauses in there. Feel me? When they gave him that deal, it was clauses in there that he obviously wasn't paying attention to. Because if he was, I'd have just told him then, man, come on, man. Give me 15, man. I plead out to 15 on my own shit, the dope, everything, man. Let me roll. Let me live, man. Let me breathe. Okay. Give me the 20 then. Okay. Instead, you went out ass backwards, cut a deal, which the internet wasn't involved at that time, so don't nobody really know what's going on. So boom, now you cut the deal, and now it resurfaces and revamps, but resurface with new and more improved evidence that's gonna come right back and reflect you. Because we can't go book the dead. We're gonna go get you, and we're gonna get them 3 scary dudes that you call scary. We're gonna find their asses and they life up right now, and either all of them gonna tell on you and we're gonna book you for it all, or we finna book y'all regardless. We booking the team. Whoever's in that white car, come on, we gotta holler at y'all. So if you're still alive, you're around, man, you every bit of 55, 56,
he's the only
56,
one,
56, 57 right now. So all the rest of them dead.
Yep.
Well, fortunate for them, man, they're in a better place, man. They're in a better place right now, bro, because I would feel sorry if they was alive right now, bro. If they felt that way then, and he said they was scared then, what you think they would have did to his ass right now? If they'd have been knocking on their door, talking about, come on, we need to holler at you about the Keefe D thing, man. What happened that night? Oh, Keefe was telling us to whoop, 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 and whatever took place, I don't know, because I wasn't there. But, I'm still puzzled, myself personally, knowing the Boulevard of Las Vegas, knowing how there's over $1 billion spent on lights and cameras alone. And even though we talk about 96, 97 in the era, when the Pac situation happened, cameras wasn't really as broad as it is around the world now, but still Las Vegas Strip had cameras on the Strip and lights. So for me being a Los Angeles native and being in Vegas so many different times, and knowing that even in my criminal elements, when I was out here really heavily on my criminal shit, Vegas was a spot we never really ever with. in our era, in our day, because chances are, when you cross that border in Nevada, you're going to get caught up out of Vegas. A1, you're going to stick out like a sore thumb back in them days in Vegas, because we ain't supposed to be down there. It's a tourist attraction, or you live there. But to be coming from LA and you hanging around Vegas, oh no, it wasn't heard of back then. So for us, I never depict and had Vegas on the map to go do any type of criminal elements or crimes, period. You know what I'm saying? So it's just crazy, bro. It's just crazy how shit is and just how it all unfolds all together, man. You know?
Yeah. It's pretty wild, you know. He did a lot of interviews about it, talked about it a lot in great length. I don't think he believed he would ever be prosecuted for
Yeah,
it.
that's why he ran his mouth like he did. He was so comfortable and fly with it, like he thought he knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
And all the time, them investigators, they knew what they were doing, because they see, one thing about the law is they got the most patience in the world.
And they got endless resources and money.
Endless, man. And the most patience, like, they will ride you out. Like, the top investigator may be investigating this case for 15 years and end up retiring. Guess what? His protege took up on the case now, a younger one, who'd come right up in the rankings. Now he finna put another 15 in until they get this case resolved. That's how they think. So they got patience, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and like I said, for me, Las Vegas, the strip itself, it's too lit up where I just couldn't see the way they described Pac getting hit that night. And again, when I told this story over and over, we got stuck on the 15 coming in because there was so much traffic backed up all the way from the strip, from Vegas all the way on out now when that happened. Everybody sitting on freeways. You could hear shit on the radio. So we had to bust a U to go on back in when Pac got hit. But we was on our way out to Club 626 to go to the after party and everything.
Oh, you were in Vegas?
I was on, yeah, we was right it up between Barstow and Baker.
Oh.
We right up in there. You feel me?
Okay.
And so we didn't ever make it in because the freeway was so, I'm talking about from all the way from Las Vegas, bro, all the way on going back into Victorville, that whole 15 was lined up front to back, both sides. People literally spent the night on the roads. It was that crowded. You know what I'm saying? They couldn't move because it was that crowded. So we never made it into Vegas after the fight. We was literally going to the fight. So we said, okay, we don't miss the fight because Tyson got in and out when the fight happened. So boom, wherever, okay, we going straight on to the after party. We going to Club 626, which was still about the club. So we going out there to party and shit and fuck around and network and possibly do some criminal elements then. Feel me? Never made it. But the thing, my point is, like I said, me knowing Las Vegas like that, Pone, is like, I can't see a loud white Cadillac pulling up on a black Beamer and shooting Pac and shooting Simon like that and get away and nobody see nothing and nobody chase the car. For me knowing Death Row and me knowing how the security moved and me knowing that whole movement then and knowing the individuals involved, the shit, it never sit right to me. It was just, for me, for some reason, I never bought the story myself, personally.
Allegedly, Buntree chased him down.
Yeah.
And popped at him.
Yeah, I meant to say, supposedly the homie Buntree had chased him down. But see, I don't know. Like I said, I wasn't near, but that was allegedly said. But it wasn't proven.
Right.
Because you got to think about it. And I know my homie, rest in peace, man, Buntree was a soldier, a real warrior. And I know Buntree is a thinker. So if Buntree really did that, Buntree would have had some form of identification. He'd have been able to say, oh yeah, it was them fools such and such, blood, woo, 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 woo. He would have said that. And so niggas would have knew, okay, it was them. I don't recall none of that being said or being told. Maybe they said that amongst each other as far as the Paru Corps, the Death Row securities, I don't know. But I'm saying, like I said, I wasn't near that particular night when it took place to better say per se, but I don't recall from what was told to me And the individuals that I know that's from the road, that was securities, that was there. That wasn't told to me. They didn't tell me the homie Buntry chased the car down, because it wouldn't have been Buntry by itself. It'd have been at least one or two of them. They wouldn't have stopped. That's what me up. What do you mean he chased the car down? Man, Buntry would have chased that mother down until they wrecked, until he killed them niggas. Whoever was in the car, Buntry wouldn't have stopped. So that's what me up. And whoever was in the car with him, I know the homies, they wouldn't have stopped. Because that's just like, if I'm on security detail, I'm chasing that mother car down. The car that just shot at us got away and I got action. Oh, I'm finna be the hero then. I'm gonna be the hero at the end of the day. We need to find out who was in this car. I'm doing my job. I'm gonna chase the car down. Period. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, I hear you.
We're gonna be exchanging shots, fires in the middle of Vegas, a real live movie type shit then, man. So for me, that's why I was like, I ain't buying that one. I don't know.
Now, I think I seen that you were signed to Death Row, but as an actor. Is that accurate?
Yeah. Death Row Films.
Okay, how did that come together?
Me and Pac, when Pac first came about, Dre was in the makers. Him and G Atwell, Philip Atwell back then. Big Bruce, which was on his production team. Dre was getting involved in the heavy scripts back then, because we had just shot our co-star in Murder Was the Case. That's me and Snoop stabbing up Baby Boo in Murder Was the Case. The film Murder Was the Case. I play in Murder Was the Case. So.
Wait, you're in Murder Was the Case?
Yeah, I'm the nigga with the slingshot on Swole in prison, stabbing Baby Boo up.
No shit.
Yeah, me and Charlie Murphy. Me, Charlie Murphy, and Snoop. Yeah, so
that was like the dopest 20-minute movie in the 90s.
Yeah, that shit was hard, man. I like Murder Was the Case. So yeah, I co-starred in that, and from there I went Billboard with Dre for about 8 consecutive weeks. I went Billboard with him. They did the introduction of Death Row Films, so I was on Billboard with him, and then I was signed on, and shit, I was looking forward to blowing up in the film world on that aspect, but unfortunately, shit just happened like this, like overnight, boom, boom, boom. Dre ended up leaving, shit broke down, the car broke down, and just like shit just happened overnight, like, man. That's when I got caught up in the mix of Dre leaving, Sam Snead, all the producers leaving Death Row. I was right in the middle of all that. And Pac separations. And so it just messed up everything from there.
You said you messed up 2 movie deals.
Yeah.
What happened with that?
That's the Reese Cup story, man. A.K. Tyrese Gibson, man. I messed around and put my hands on him, man, and one of his bodyguards and one of my nephews, man, Sir Too Tall, man, fired on one of the bodyguards, so it really put me in a limbo, man. As soon as I got hired by John Singleton, I got fired by John Singleton, man. Unfortunate to say, man. Shout out to the great late John, man. Rest in peace. He was still a good guy to me, man, because he was giving me an opportunity, and I blew it, bro. I allowed my temper to fuck me up. I took my street temper into the industry, bro.
Can you kind of take me through everything? I think Tyrese took your album,
an idea? It started with my album, man, 2,000 Watts. He took my title, 2,000 Watts, and ran with it to RCA. And so from there, that's where the controversy came. That's where our feud came from there. A lot of people that know it sparked from 2,000 Watts. They thought I was just on some bounty hunter extorting type shit, from Watts. I'm just a bounty hunter. And, I got a regime with me behind me, and I'm just on some extorting him type shit. And it was never that, bro. I never came at that young nigga on that level because I had my own money. I had just beat 40 years of life in the county jail. I came home to about $500,000 already, still that I had tucked away. So when I came home, I took my money and invested into my own independent record label, which was called PCE, Paper Chase Entertainment. I built Coffee Shop Productions and Cappuccino Films, Inc., which is my film production company. So I took my money and invested in there. I signed on Crips out of Jordan Down Projects, PJs, Mona Park area, Hat Gang area, 10/8, my hood, 108th. I just brought all the youngers together because we was in peace at this time. And so I built a regime, man. And we worked hard on this album. I spent about $85,000 independently on the album. with a few features with names on it, without no Dr. Dre beats, none of that. And I had a good album. And we had, for 5 years, I created a strong buzz for myself within the city first so I can excel out. So I started writing within our city and it was working for me. And so all of a sudden, man, this dude got a hold to my concept, do an airbrush picture and shit with the paint on and the earring in his navel and the earring on his chin and his tongue and with a guitar with the fake watts behind him talking about 2,000 watts. And I got hold to it because one of my boys told me, man, you seen this shit? And he bought it to me. And I was like, what? And he bought it to me. So I'm like, hell no. So Al Jarreau and Jamie Foxx was throwing a wild party up in San Fernando Hills. I got an invite, went to the party. So I took about 8 or 9 of my crew, my artists and shit, a couple of my producers. And we go to the party. Soon we get to the party, we pass up the black Audi when we walking in. I see the clean motherfucker. We walk right by it. We ain't tripping paying no mind. I see the dude in the car and the female walk right on by. By the time we get inside the party, get to the house, we get inside the party. When we get through the house, we go through the side gate, get to the back of the pool area. Soon we get in the back of the pool area, we not even standing there probably like 15 minutes. You see a couple star faces. Boom, we see a couple faces come through. I see Ronnie. I go holler at Ronnie. It's Ronnie, Rick, and DeVoe. Bell Bill and DeVoe now, because we with them back then, me and my producer, K Dozy and them. That's how I was introduced to them through S-Class. And so I'm hollering at Ronnie for a minute and then making my way, walking around, seeing individuals I know in the industry that I know. And we not even there a good 15 minutes, you hear the birdie. You hear the birdie flying. All of a sudden you hear, move your cars, let's move outside. So now people come in and say, hey, they raiding the party. You know, now people like they stopping the party. So now people moving out and leaving. And so we going out and work our way out the side gate, get out. You see everybody dispersed and leaving. They turning the party out. The neighborhood didn't complain about the capacity and cars parked all in these areas because this is a suburban area. So we ain't having this over here. We tired of this shit, Jamie, having wild parties any damn way like this every week seemed like. So they called the police. So they turned the party out. So we mobbing on back to our cars and shit. Walk right past the same direction where we come in. As I'm walking past, again, like I say, the car is still there. And one of my artists ran back up to me and said, Cap. I'm like, what's happening? He go, hey, there go the Reese dude, man. You know who the Tyrese. I said, what? And when soon he said Tyrese, I snapped and said, what? And I spent. And he said, right there in the car. And he pointed to the black Audi. I said, we just walked. I spent on him. Bam, so when I spent, my whole crew spent with me. So now I'm belling. Now I got my angry face on and I'm mad. I'm like, tell me I get a chance to catch this little motherfucker. Oh, it's on. So I walk up to the car. As soon as I get it to the car, I beat on the bin. Boom, 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 hit the window. The broad in the car with him, they talking. So when I hit the window, he just looked at me for a minute, like hesitate, and I hit the window. Boom, boom. So he rolled it down. What's going on, OG? I said, blood, what's happening? What's up? He look at me. I said, what's up? So I stuck my head in the window I said, what's up, nigga? I said, you know me? He go, no, OG, what's going on? I said, no, you don't know me, do you? I said, well, you finna know me and you need to know me, homeboy. I said, I'm BJ, homie, A.K. Nino Cappuccino. I run Cappuccino Films and Paper Chase Entertainment. That's my label. I said, hey, nigga, you got something that belong to me. He go, what are you talking about, OG? The broad hops out the car. Now, at this time, a couple of my boys go around on this end to this side as she getting out. They going around the car. So he looking, he panicking like we surrounding the car. But my head is stuck in the window. He can't start the car up, no nothing, do nothing, because I'm already in the car. I already got him. So if I really wanted to beat on him anything, he can't do nothing. I got him. I'm inside the car like this on him. I talk to him. So I raise back out the car. I said, check this out, who your manager, my nigga? Who represents you? Who your manager? He said, well, I said, hey, look, here, give me your number, take my number now, and give me a real number. So I gave him my number. Boom. I left. Not even 35, 40 minutes later, as I'm leaving, going back in our section, I get a call. It's Greg Sparks. It's the homie GP. Greg Sparks is his manager from the roller 60s. Well, he from that area. He's not a gang member, but he grew up in that area, so association. But Greg Sparks was known, a hustler, good dude from that side. He was managing the kid at that time. We don't know one another. We know of one another personally. So that came to bring about us meeting. So when we met, we ended up hosting a meeting. Greg held the meeting at M&M's on Crenshaw. So I had a couple of my soldiers roll with me. We moved in, checked out the situations. I planted certain situations in certain areas because I knew he was going to do the same damn thing because he didn't know how I was coming. He didn't know if I was coming with an attitude. I was coming with a host of bounty hunters with me. He didn't know none of that. So when I got there, it was just like I peeped it. He had a cat tucked away in Louisiana chicken area. He had a cat in the car, feel me? And he had two dudes in the restaurant with him. So I come in, sit down at the table. We Greek shook hands. Sit down at the table with him. I had one of my guys with me. We sit down. We order food. We literally sit there. We eating. And as we talking, he tell me so. He said, so yeah, man. He say, I see the album. I see you doing the album, man. I see your album, man. He said, how's the album though? I said, I ain't released it yet though, Greg, man, because this shit that popped up, bro, and it's gonna put a stunt on my release date. We was looking at a release date for this quarter coming up. And then Dre just dropped the Chronic. So what I did was I pushed the album back because I said, ain't no way we gonna sell units right now with Dr. Dre dropping an album. It ain't gonna happen. Like two heavy hitters that dropped albums that quarter from the East Coast and the West Coast. I believe it was DMX, if I ain't mistaken. I think it was X or either Jay-Z and them. It was Rockefeller X and them had dropped the album in that era. Somebody heavy from the East Coast. But I know for a fact Dre had dropped this shit. And I said, oh no, this not gonna be a good quarter for me to release this independent album. This ain't good. So I had to pour back on it. So I'm telling him and explain that to him. And basically what we came up with at that meeting, me and GP, we left out of that meeting cool, shook hands as businessmen, and we came to the agreement that we would use the 2,000 watts concept for both parties. I agreed to allow him to use the concept for an R&B album with the exception that he do 2 feature songs on my album and we do a feature on his album, vice versa, and we do the 2,000 watts. That's why I changed it from 2,000 watts. If you see my album, it's called 2,000 watts, The Redemption. His is 2,000 watts. Ours is 2,000 watts Redemption. So I released it under 2,000 watts Redemption, independently. But I cost RCA $1.5 million in promotions because now what happened was he reneged on the agreement. So I had to shut his ass down when he got released the album. I shut him down. Streets, everything. He couldn't go to no record store, do no signings. Shit, I was on his head. Everywhere he went in this city, I was on his head. And if I wasn't able to get to him, I was sending niggas to him. Simple. Because I wasn't playing about my business and I worked hard on that shit for me to be fresh in the game, in the business, and for somebody to come take a good concept from me like that. So when we left the meeting from M&M's, like I said, we was in agreement. Everything was cool, but it didn't happen. Everything kept being prolonged. So what GP did was he called me one day because now a month didn't elapse. So he called me. He said, where you at? I said, shit, I'm around. What's up? He said, what? I told him, I said, where I need to be. He said, meet me in Lemerck, man. He said, I'm finna take you to John, man. We going to Columbia. I said, John Singleton? I said, shit, I'm on my way. Gee, I'm on my way. So I shot over to the west side. Linked up with him, jumped in his car with him. Me and GP rolled out. We hit Lemerck Park. I didn't know John Singleton's production company was actually built and planted right in the hood of South Central of Crenshaw District at Lemerck Park. I didn't know that. A lot of people don't even know that. They think John Singleton in the hills. They think he was in Beverly Hills. John shit was right there at Lemerck Park. Damn. Whole production company, right, sit smack dead in Lemerck Park next to this, I'm trying to remember the name of the club, sits on the left-hand side from it, but his production company sits right there. So I went there, met JP, we went there. From there, we had to go to Columbia. So as we going to Columbia to do the meeting with John Singleton, GP hollering at Jermaine Dupri. So now we rolling, we driving, boom. John calls in as we hit the 10 freeway. We passing the 10. We just passed Munzer 405, going into that area, that direction to get to Columbia in Santa Monica area. As we rolling, John calls in to GP, and John tells GP he got to take another important meeting. He don't want to prolong this meeting. He said, "Where your guy? Is your guy with you, or he meeting with you?" He said, "No, he right here." He introduced us over the speaker. GP pulled off the freeway because now we got to veer and V-turn because he telling us he going to another meeting. So GP by this time exiting off the freeway. So as he exiting off the freeway and he doing the introduction over the speaker, John Singleton speak to me. I speak to him and tell him, "Man, it's a pleasure meeting you, Mr. Singleton, man. You know, you're a legend in the game to me, man, with this film world. I'm a student in the game right now, still learning, man. I say, I feel like, you know, my acting is impeccable. I said, I know I'm ready for this screen, man. I'm ready to work with you." He said, yeah. Greg told me, you know, you was into the film, man, and you want to do your thing. He said, how's your chops? I said, oh shit. He said, yeah, I can hear your voice. I like your baritone in your voice. I can hear your voice, right? So he said, you got 2 minutes. Give me a 2-minute monologue. As soon as he said that, now the average motherfucker would have froze, like, oh shit, what do you mean? But if had not studied, if had not coming from the streets and then putting myself through schools and being in academies, different academies and going through schools, so I knew my shit. So when he used those terms and those words, I knew what it meant. So when he said, you got 2 minutes, give me a 2-minute monologue, I jumped straight into South Central OG Bobby Johnson character on his ass. Licked him. That's how I booked my role. I did an audition riding in the car with GP Greg Sparks to John Singleton. True story, true facts. Booked me, but then turn around
What
and
were you
fired.
supposed to play?
It was either or. The stepdaddy before they offered the role to Vin Rhymes, or the best friend.
Oh.
Feel me? Cuba Gooding's role or Vin Rhymes. It was either or. This was when the script was brand new, fresh, and they was casting the characters. They had Reese already locked in for the main character, which this movie wasn't even his movie, actually. Baby Boy was Tupac's movie. This is a movie John been sitting on, and when Pac died, he just buried it and said, man, I'll never be able to shoot this movie then. And I'll never find nobody to fit the characteristics. He just didn't know me at that time. So they ended up giving it Reese cut because he was a singer and he was reluctant, but him and Greg had a relationship. That's how Reese Cup got his role, because of Greg Sparks. Not because of him or RCA. He had a relationship with Greg, a direct relationship with him. So GP took him to him, man, and that's how it unfolded. So from Baby Boy, they removed me because the 2,000 watts concert jumped off after Reese Cup. Tyrese disagreed with the agreement. Well, not disagreed, but didn't come through with his actions on the music side. So I ended up putting hands on him at a concert prior to productions finna go into effect. What the was I thinking? You think
Can you take me through what happened?
John finna give me an opportunity to play either or one of these roles, which would be my breakthrough movie for my career. And my jackass, up temper ass, go up here, put my hand on the bodyguard and grab this like Mortal Kombat. So leading to what happened was 2,000 watts concert was held in our backyard at Drew Medical Youth Center and Martin Luther King. And he came up with this concept, 2,000 watts day. So he just taking my 2,000 watt shit and running with it without importing me in it now, homie. That ain't finna happen. Everybody and mama and watch know that's BJ shit. That's the Watch Theory Assassin shit. That's all we've been hearing. All the posters you see in Watts, all the record stores, that's them. He got it, running with it, because he got the people behind him with the money. All my shit independently done. So, get to the concert, get to the back gate of VIP. Oh, now, they don't want to let me get in. They trying to stop me from getting in. All right, put the smash down now. So soon I put my move down to get in, walk through security. But first, let me back up real quick. Producer walk up, promoter walk up. She say, you said you guys were on the car? I said, yeah. Paper Chase Entertainment, we supposed to be on the card. I got 15 minutes on stage. Yes. I said, where my trailer at? She was like, but I don't, we don't see you guys. And mind you, I got about 70 motherfuckers with me. Jordan Downs, PJs, Nixon guards, motor parks, hat gangs, Franklin Squares. I got motherfuckers with me, bro, because we in Peace Treaty right now. So I got the Bonnie Hunter and them, I got them Bloods and them Crips deep with me right now. Thick. We moving on shit. Whole watch car. Man, I got my boys all behind me about 60, 70 deep talking about I can't get in, and I know I got all these rowdy niggas with me. Oh, I'm taking full advantage of this power right here, baby. Yeah, bullshit if I can't get in. So the lady tell me, y'all not on the list. I'm not on the list. I said, no, go holler at Grands and tell them to go holler at her. And she come back. So when they come back, as she trying to get it out of her mouth to say, well, they said, Greg was supposed to call you. They talking about GP. I said, man, he ain't called me. Nobody called me. I haven't heard from nobody. I said, man, you know what? All this shit. And I walk right on past her. So the security dude is making his way toward me. I make my way toward him. Too Tall step in. Too Tall, my nephew, he like 6'3". Tall yellow nigga, yellow giant. Tall walk right in to catch my right slack of my shoulder and bump into the security, which allowed me to move straight on in. And as I'm in, the whole crowd follow. So ain't nothing they could do now. We done bust through the whole gate. So now the whole watch car is in back of VIP. So at this time, I seen him coming out of his trailer and I caught him. And he turned around and seen me. So as I'm calling him, he trying to ignore me. So we go and I cut him off. As I cut him off, I don't know that one of his bodyguard, I don't know, it's an off-duty police with him and then his bodyguard security and some other, I don't know this shit. At this point, I'm just mad. I don't give a So I move and I fire on dude. Bam! As I fire, Too Tall, catch the slack. Boom! Catch him. Fire, knock him. I grab Reese. Boom! From the collar like Mortal Kombat. Bring your motherfucking ass here. You thought you was gonna get away from me, mother? And as I'm grabbing him, that's when the police bring with the shield and get me off of him. And threw the shield in my face and said, LAPD, let him go, LAPD. And I threw the shield and I looked and I seen the shield because I had to double time to make sure it was the police because I was finna spin on him. But I already got him. I got him in the grip like this. Damn near to my face. And I'm pulling his ass to me and he threw the shield on me and got me off. So I let him go. When I let him go, they harvested him and grabbed him, tucked and rolled him out of there. At this time, it's going down. They back there, niggas is jacking, beating up people. So now I see Jada Pickett and her security, they running across. Niggas is trying to get Jada. So I had to stop them from trying to rob Jada Pickett. I had to get at them from, leave her alone, homies. Because now it's an uproar. So once I kind of simmer down and I start whistling and telling my boys and my niggas, let's go. Then the rest of the watch car, a lot of cats start following me and leaving. Then some cats just stayed there and was still trying to get it in. You feel me? Then the police, the sheriff came. By that time, the sheriff closed in, rolled in their guns, everything, tear gas, and shut it down. They stopped the concert, turned the concert out, shut it down, all that. So the following year, if you want to come back and you want to bring Hollywood down here to watch, I better be involved. So the following year, they let us perform. Instead of my 15 minutes, I got 30 minutes. And I got paid 10 racks, you feel me? And we performed and did our thing. And that was history. And that year, that's the year we performed. That's when Cam performed with us and see Cam and Solo and them. We all got down together that year.
Did you guys ever squash your issues?
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't learn from getting fired from Baby Boy because I carried that anger. Now I'm really mad at this fool. Like, I was on his ass to the point where he moved up out of here because I found out where he was living. You know what I mean? I found out when he first bought his first house after the little movie, he bought his house right there at the golf course right here on 120th in Crenshaw and Vermont area where that little new house sections was built right there. He moved right there. And I found out, got wind through a female I knew. That's when he moved to New York. And from there, he never came back to Cali. So here we come back around a couple years later, a few years down the line, my little homeboy Hollywood had something to do with the script Waist Deep. Hollywood became a consultant on the script. took the script to his partner, which was Vondy Curtis. We both knew. I did my first documentary film, my first film ever with Vondy Curtis called Eyes of the Children, Cross Central through the Eyes of the Children, 112th Street. So that's how I built a relationship with new Vondy Curtis over the years. So I already knew Vondy. So when I found out Vondy was a director, because Hollywood brought it to me, said, hey, you know, Vondy getting ready to direct this film called Waist Deep, man. I think that'd be a great film for you, man. I said, Hollywood put me in, man. Put me to Vondy. So he connect me to Vondy. We on the phone talking. You know, we caught up from over the years, and Vondy was like, yeah, it's good to hear from you, man. Hey, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing your material, man. I need you to send me a self-tape, send it to me and everything. I did all the demo audition, self-tape, sent it to him, booked me for Waist Deep. Gave me Meathead. That's my shit. Game wasn't supposed to never touch Meathead. I was supposed to eat Meathead up for life. Meathead was my fucking role. I was Meathead. Still got the script at home right now today. Waist Deep. I became Meathead, bro. Feel me? I was gonna, man, I was gonna do so much to that character, man. I was gonna do so much to that character, bring that character to life, bro. And not only that, my energy would have bounced off of him. He don't know how explosive that shit would have been. I'd have did a way better role than the Game did. They ain't taking nothing for his first role of acting, but still, I would have over Meathead. Over that role, man. And so, hire me, book me, I'm in. They have a production meeting. Now they bringing Megan in. She's signing on as the next lead. So they have a production meeting. When they had the final production meeting before we get ready to go into finance, and finance is when they come in, they start paying the top artists, you know, from supporting, lead, and co-star, you get paid your advances, you know, depending on how you set your terms and negotiate your deal, your management or your agency, right? So now this is when you get paid your advancement up front to lock you in, seal you on your deal. So that's what they was doing with Megan now. Did a production meeting, my photo, my resume, and my bio sitting on the table with the rest of the cast. And Reese Cup seen it. And spotted my shit and told Vondy, he in the movie? And Vondy was like, yeah, that's a good guy, great guy, I know. He's like, nah. He said, man, this dude playing in the movie, I will not play in this movie, I will not star in it, I won't do it. He said, bro, this dude, he got influence in Watts, and we filming in Watts? He said, no, I won't do this movie. That's why Waist Deep got shifted from productions because of me. They shifted. Originally, that movie was supposed to be shot in our lone parking lot, Crenshaw, called Shaw Lot. That's why they went down to the Mexicans projects, because they needed that long, same parking lot from that vision, from that shot. So they had to find that big, wide parking lot. That's why they went to their projects. The Jordan Downs didn't have that same diagonal parking lot that they needed, and they didn't want to shoot there at this particular time because it had been shot, a couple of films had been shot there already, so they wanted the Nixon. So they were shooting in my hood, and they were shooting it across the street on Imperial at the original Diggy Dog's hot dog stand. So because he said that, they shift everything less than 4 to 5 days. They went and did new locations and shift on me. So all the time I'm sitting here on call waiting for my call time and my call sheet and my pay. Man, I get the phone call. I'm still on call. Okay, cool. All the time, they buying time on my ass, Pone. They scared to tell me. Bonnie don't want to call me and tell me I'm fired. Nobody don't want to tell me. Preston Holmes is the producer at the time, so don't nobody want to tell me. Preston don't know me. Bonnie know me. He the one hired me. So man, damn near a week, 2 weeks go by, still ain't got no call. So in my head, I'm just thinking I'm on call. Man, I go to my boy house. I'm looking for my boy one morning. I get over there, he not there. So I get ready to leave, hit his phone. He tell me he on set. You mean he on set? I'm talking to K Dozier from A4 Swan area, from 83rd. He was a producer I used to produce with, my folks. He said, Cap, he said, yeah, I'm on set. I said, you on set where? He said, man, they got me, they cast me, they called me in this morning. They cast me for extras, man, for this film, for that film, man. You know, what's that film you in, man, with the boy, man? With the boy, Reese Cup Candy, man. I said, Kato, you mean waist deep? He go, yeah, waist deep. Waist. I said, come on, man, you can't, hell no. They ain't even start shooting that film yet, Kato. You sure it's waist deep? He said, Cap, man, I got my call sheet right here and my release form, man. It said waist deep. I said, man, what you at? He said, on Hardcore and La Brea, schoolyard, between schoolyard, Gear Gang Hood, right? And remember the scene in the movie when they jacked the lowrider car, the rag top? I shut that whole scene down. Cost them $150,000 that day because I prolonged the shots and prolonged that scene because I interrupted the shot when I went to go holler at Vondi that day. Because Vondi was in a golf cart shooting and directing. So him and the producer was sitting in the golf court while they was making the shots. So as I walked, by the time I parked and walked up, they going on their third shot. They had already shot a couple times. So they coming back and they making their third takes. It's a camera in the air, 2 moving motion cameras. You got a camera down the street taking all the crashes. Then Vondi's got a camera right there on the cart with him. So we talking like 4 or 5 cameras out there in the mix moving. So when I walk in, I walk right in the shot. They stop, cut. I walk up to Vondi, tell him I need to holler at you, Vondi, man. He look at me. He said, oh, I said, no, I need to holler at you right now, Vondi. And I look over, I said, I need to holler at this motherfucker right here too. It was Reese Cup. Big Bear, rest in peace, was security duty at that time. I already knew Bear. Bear used to be a bouncer at Carolina West, Maverick Flats. So I knew Big Black Bear. Big Black Bear was the big dude with the big old earrings you seen in the Bad Boys. The Bad Boy movie with Martin Lawrence. And so I knew Bear. Bear was working security detail. My big homie, rest in peace, Cartoon, was the consultant on the movie. So he's standing across the street. So as I'm getting at them and pointing to the director, telling them to come holler at me, Vondi pulling to the side now to come talk to me, and I'm pointing at Reese Cup. They harvest him to get him away from me, send him straight to the trailer. Bear walk over, what's up, homie? What's up, Big G? I say, man, this motherfucker took my concept home, boy. I need to holler at his bitch ass. Finna holler at this nigga, Vondi. I supposed to be on set right now. He go, huh? He said, well, shit. You know, I ain't got nothing to do with it, bro. And he walked away. They sent my homeboy Cartoon to holler at me, and I told Toon, I called you 3 days ago and was trying to talk to you and ask you what was going on, man. And you act like you didn't know what was happening, so I don't even want to talk. Walked over there and started talking to Vondi. As I'm talking to Vondi, Preston Holmes, I heard him ask Cartoon, well, who is he? Toon said, that's my young homie, man. He a rider. He a real one, and he's serious about his money. He said, well, what's going on? He said, man, Vondi hired him, man. And Vondi fired him, let him go and wouldn't tell him. So Preston walked over there now. He's just engaging in the conversation. He's standing there listening. So as Vondi trying to explain to me what happened, I said, but Vondi, why you wouldn't call me and tell me that shit? He said, man, this ain't the time. I can't really discuss it, go into details. He said, man, let me get through this day, man, and I promise you I'll call you. I said, but Mom, I said, dude, so I supposed to just take this L, my nigga? And now Preston's standing there looking at me. So I turn around. I said, all right, I'm going to let you call me, Vondi. I'm going to holler at y'all out of respect for you, bro. All right. And I turn around. I'm mad now. I'm mad as a mother. So I turn around and I'm walking slow to walk back across the street. So everybody outside, they looking. All the people, the traffic, the cast, extras, everybody looking at me. By this time, 3 of my little homies that I had summons to meet me here pulling up. So when my little homies pull up, now I really put the extras on them now because I know I got my back up there with them things just in case if it get really stupid. They done made a call on me already. So as I'm spinning back around, because my homies is walking up, I telling them, park over there, go park. So as they going to find parking, car pulling up, they done called Uncle Mike on me. You don't know, this Uncle Mike, fool. We got 15, 20 years damn near in already a relationship. We damn near family. He ain't finna do nothing to me, and I ain't finna do nothing to him. He can't stop me any damn way. So they call Uncle Mike. It's Mike Conception. Unc pulled up. Hey, come here, let me holler at you right quick. So I walk up to the car. I said, what's up, Unc? I saw these motherfuckers. He called you, Unc. He go, yeah, hey, come here, let me talk to you. He said, look, what's going on? I said, no, man, they hired me and this mother gonna say something about my name in production meeting, bro, that he don't want to work with me. He said, look, you know what? That mother, he damn near fell, come out the car. He said, I just put his ass with Tom Cruise to do a $22 million movie, and his ass walked away from me with it. Get whatever you need to get. And he pulled off. You know what I'm saying? After we got through talking, he told me that, and he pulled off. And he ended up exchanging words, because Greg Sparks and them had just pulled up then. And they ended up getting into it and exchanging words. And we ended up leaving, bro. And that was history. So basically, I got fired from Waist Deep, but got rehired after that day. So now after that day, I get the phone call from Vondi the next day, like he told me, but it was his production crew calling me, casting. And they said, hey, can you be down at ABC Studios at such and such time? I said, hell yeah. And so boom, I shot the ABC Studio. I mean, not ABC's, ABC Studio. Got the ABC Studio, got down there to productions, and they was shooting their other scenes of the film. Come to find out, they cast me for a murder character. From when the bank robberies was occurring, they was picking up suspects for the bank robbery and a murder had jumped off. They cast me for one of those characters. So I ended up doing my role, got paid $5,000 for one day of work, about a few hours of work, because they only shot my takes about 5 or 6 good takes, because I went in there nailing my shits. And then I ended up on the director's cut. So if you guys want to see me on Waist Deep and you got the DVD hard copy, just go to the director's cut and you'll see me on Waist Deep, man. But I end up on the director's cut. So that's how I played myself out of 2 major historical, good, going down in history, urban films, man. But you ain't seen the last of me, man, because I'm still here, Pone.
I hear that. Yeah, for sure, for sure. You've been doing it a while, so I mean, you know, it's gonna come.
Yeah. It just, for me, I had to make a change in growth, bro, because like I say, I came in the industry with my street attitude and my street tactics. And it got to a point where I had to realize the separation. Like it's cool when it's needed, it needed to be, but then a lot of times it's just like, put myself in that humble stage, my suit on, my suit and tie, and go do what I do as a real businessman. You feel me? So I had to learn to get to that position in that stage of my life, that stages of my life, to be able to go in and sit down and do these deals, man, you know?
Yeah, I hear that. For sure, man. Well, you know, one thing I recently seen you talk about, you know, was like, you know, dudes checking in and, you know what I'm saying, being cautious and everything, man. You know, I believe we touched on, you know, one of the stories in the past where you saved Lil Wayne from getting robbed out in LA.
Right.
You
Well,
know,
it wasn't just him, it was that whole little hot boy crew at the time. And
right.
they had no awareness. Like I said, they was 15 years old. They didn't even see it coming. This is like I said, I went over this, bro. I get in so much controversy over the internet because these new kids on the internet don't have a clue. You wasn't around and you couldn't see it, but LA seen it. In all the other states where they moved around and they traveled, especially LA, we know what took place. When them kids came out, bro, they was confused when they got stuck up in that LA gang culture. So at first, the Crips had the umbrella over them, where the Crips would have had them, just like the Crips had Tupac in the beginning. Fucking niggas don't even realize this. Pac was Crippin'. Big Syke is from that side, man. Big Syke was his road dog. And by right, by truth, that's who Pac should have stayed with. Pac should have stayed with Big Syke, built his outlaw crew, his thug life crew, all them around Big Syke, man, and stayed with Syke because he had a crew of ninjas that was following that movement at the time. They would have put real secure around him, bro. Because them Crip niggas really liked the Pac. They was with him. So Pac was with Crips in the beginning before he came out. So that means he switched over. 1 minute he was with the Crip side, then he was with the Blue side. It's like he represented the New York before he even got to us. Baltimore, Northern California, to the West Coast, bro. So it's like cats need to understand. That's why, me personally, I don't respect none of these niggas that's in the game that call themselves Bloods or Crips, and you really didn't come from the streets of it, and you're a rapper or R&B singer or actor. I don't respect them motherfuckers. They don't get my respect. And a whole lot of us OGs in the streets, they don't get our respect because we look at that shit like it's a mockery, bro. They playing with it. You worth millions of dollars and you successful and you want to be a part of this shit that we dying for? Our kids are dying for, our babies are dying for. That's ass backwards. That don't make no damn sense to real individuals like myself out the streets who done made it out. You know how I mean? My homies ain't made it to where I'm at, Capone, that wish they can get out. You know how many niggas is locked up for the rest of their life, ain't never getting out. They hear about what I'm doing out here and they talk about me, speak about me on yards, but they'll never be able to shake my hand or congratulate me like this, bro. I feel for my homies for that shit, man. And you got these motherfuckers out here talking about Sue whooping and whoop and all this shit. And yeah, they ain't did shit. Ain't putting no work in. Then here come these busters on the internet want to argue with a real one who really lived this shit and say, well, oh, baby about that life. Baby put their work in the streets of New Orleans. I don't know nothing about the streets of New Orleans and putting no work in. I'm talking about the gang culture. He ain't putting no gang culture work in those streets of New Orleans because New Orleans wasn't gang banging. They say it all the time. So it's like, y'all got to make y'all mind up, man. Real is real, fake is fake. We don't respect these fake carnation ass gangbangers in the industry, bro. We don't respect it because they not from it. Motherfucker want to argue me down about Chris Brown. Well, Chris Brown, he really the real, he the truth, he put work in. You know what I respect about Chris Brown? I think Chris Brown is a brilliant musician. He's a great dancer. I love his music. I support him. I f with him. I don't support the young nigga as a blood or gangbanger because he ain't that to me. And just like all the rest of them, I respect the hell out of Lil Wayne craft. Lil Wayne is one of the baddest, hardest young rappers to me. But he not a blood to me. He ain't no chief blood to me. Heard him saying some shit on the story one day about, oh yeah, they called me a chief in prison. Shit just be crazy, bro, how they took this Los Angeles, the birth of gang culture from Los Angeles. Took it, mimic it. Now the world act like they do it way better than we ever could have done it, or what better than what LA did it. You mimicking Los Angeles and Chicago when it comes down to the historical point of gangs. It's either LA or Chicago that you're mimicking, but you doing it better. How about stop doing it, period? And stop all these senseless ass killers and shit that's going on, man. How about that shit? How about that solution? Who doing it the better? What state is the killer state? Who got all the murders? Man, you know how dumb we sound when you get on this internet bragging about some shit like that, bro. About your state is the murder capital of the world. Who gives a How about your state being the non-killer capital of the world? Y'all don't want to talk about that kind of shit.
What happened when you caught Lil Wayne and Birdman with their rags in the wrong pocket?
I just corrected them. Walked up on them, pushed up on them, made my introduction, told them who I was for the first time. Because my interest at that time, they was fresh in the game too. They had already been in the game about several 8 years. And it was, had really put themselves in position. So me being an independent company, I was trying to collaborate and with them. So I pushed up on them and made my introduction. But at the same token, I noticed the flag in their pocket, so that raised my eyebrow of anger to the point like, hey, homie, because if you motherfuckers gonna do this, you motherfuckers need to be correct, come correct, and make sure you getting groomed correct. So I stepped to him and told him, y'all doing that thing, that red flag in your left pocket, homeboy. Because they had it in their left pocket. When they got the limos, both of them had the flags in their left pocket. Made them take that motherfucker out of their left pocket and switch it, put it in their right, man. Baby took his out his left, had it in his hand, and as I'm talking to him, Wayne heard me. Wayne switched his in the right pocket. He said, good looking, old J. Good looking, old J. Put his in his right pocket. But I'm steady on baby, though. I wasn't even really tripping on Lil Weezy, because I'm on the head. I ain't tripping on Weezy. I want your cheek right here. So I'm on him. I'm in his ear. I'm pushed right up on him. I'm in his ear on him, like on him. Like if he would have said something ignorant, I'm on him to the point where I could have just fired on him. Whatever I feel like doing right then there. Your security, your boys, they want to bring it. Me and my niggas, we gonna bring it. Cause it's me, Bun B, our crew. It's us, Bud, Truck, Big Truck, Bone, International Red. We talking to Snoop. We hollering at Snoop and popping them and snooping them crew at the time. So I spotted them coming in. So I dipped off of my crew to approach them when I seen them coming through the gates. When the limo pulled up and let them out to get to the red carpet, they coming through the gate because we had a Soul Train Award ceremony and radio because Bun's Pimp just got nominated, UGK, for the video of the year, and that song, the Pimp song. And so this was our whole purpose of being there. And that's how the day I met him, and that's when I pushed up on him, man, and let him know, man, you know, you niggas got that shit in the wrong pocket. But again, when you tell these things to the world because of the internet world we in now, and because I don't have baby 300 or 400 million, right? They look at me like it's impossible. Bullshit. Bullshit, like it's impossible that, oh, he just stepped the baby. Bullshit. Put the nigga in my face. Put him in the room with me like Charlamagne and them right now and tell me I can't tell baby that in his face. I tell that nigga that shit right in his face. Yeah, Waldy, you remember me? And he know who I am. Baby ain't no dummy. He ain't stupid. He know me. He know my name. He know I'm a real one. He know I'm an OG for the Nixon Guard. He know my little homie Papa Dad. Rest in peace, bro. Because that's how I got involved. I was mentoring my little homie. My little homie was planning to deal with him and setting the situation up with him with Charlotte Records. Because my little homie had just got the feds. So that's how it all coincides. So, man, these dudes know me, bro. They know of me. They don't know me personally. They know of me through word of mouth and through association of others, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Just like Rick, when I met Rick stopped in the middle of his show a few months back, right here in LA. Rick Ross on stage. In the middle of one of his songs, turned around and walked up to me and embraced me in homage of respect, bro. You feel me? It's like I'm not on this internet with this play shit and this watered down shit. And because a lot of these cats in this generation don't know of me and know my name, my reputation, bro. I really walk this life and come from this life, Capone. And I'm not on here to be playing around with it and bragging and boasting about it. I'm here to preach the message, bro, to try to get guidance to those who's really listening, to show you the separation of what's really real and the shit that you shouldn't be getting yourself involved in, as opposed to allowing yourself to be talked into bullshit by nothing ass motherfuckers who really ain't OGs. They fraud. They just as fraudulent as y'all is. Because any motherfucker get on this internet now from Timbuktu and put on a frown and a cigar in his mouth and just say something. And next thing you know, he got 200 followers. And you can't convince them 200 followers that mother ain't the killer he say he is. You ain't even know him. Ain't never seen his work or nothing. But you can't convince them that shit. That's the world we in. So it took me a while out of the 3 years being on this internet, building my platforms and doing these interviews. Each time I do an interview, each time these interviews are released, I learn different things. Like, I've learned to put myself in positions where a lot of you cats, man, that are bloggers, just like yourself, I make sure that I set my terms with cats when I go in and do my interviews. It's certain things I will talk about and I'm not going to talk about. I even build a rapport to the point where I got enough sense to where, hey, when you do your tags, when you do your tags and you do your actual descriptions on your material, homie, try not to put me in no fake ass clickbait bullshit situation for your channel to pose the numbers, bruh. Cause I'm up on that shit. A lot of cats don't care. I care because it's my brand that I'm building on. It's my brand I stand on, and that matters to me. Don't put no lying ass clickbait shit up on my shit and knowing you ain't finna hear that out of the interview. He ain't said none of that, but it's a clickbait title. See, I don't like all that bullshit. I don't create content like that, Capone. I don't do my channels like that. It's shit on my channels that if I don't put them clickbaits on there, then they won't know. Oh, well, if you don't go by the titles that I have and don't like that title, then oh, well, don't listen to the story. Go on to somebody else's channel then. Feel me? It's just certain things I will do and I'm not gonna do, bro, because I stand for some shit, man. You know?
I hear you. I hear you, man. That's what's up, man. Well, dope interview, man, and I really appreciate you taking the time.
Appreciate you, man, being back for round 2, man. You feel me? Appreciate you, man. Hey, TV land, y'all already know, man. You buzzed in, you tapped in right now, man. The Capone's World, man. In collaboration with ROE 2023, man. It's your favorite host, man. Body Hunter BJ, CEO Nino Cappuccino, the brand, man. Right about now, man, I guess we out here, man. And y'all know my closing motto, man. That mighty W, fools. That mighty W, man. Chi-Town, Detroit, Louisiana, Texas, Cali. Hey, man, we in here, man. Watts. We are taught to survive. Braka. Ah!
What's up? This is Cam Capone. We got more content like this coming soon, so hit that like button, subscribe, and stay locked in to Cam Capone News.